Welcome to the Home Health Minute, your monthly podcast brought to you by the Home Health section of the American Physical Therapy Association. Hosted by Troy Mead. All right, hey everybody, and welcome to the Home Health Minute. I'm here with Dee Cornetti, and I wanted to bring her on a little bit today and talk just about what we do know about one of the situations that you've probably heard a little bit of a buzz about. Talking about CSM and the going virtual of CSM, which is, it's a new kind of territory that we're kind of going into. And first off, I just wanted to say, hey, Dee, how you doing? How's everything going?
It's going, Troy. How's it going for you? I mean, I think we're all kind of in the same boat, aren't we?
Yeah, it's a different time with everything that's been changed. Our lives have been changed probably for, in ways that we didn't think about, with this COVID stuff that's been going around. And, that kind of leads us into CSM. I know we don't know a lot right now, but I was hoping that you could share kind of what you do know so far about this kind of change and what we can expect.
Sure. I'd like to do that. And as the president of the home health section, I have to tell you, this has been going on for at least 2 or 3 within 30 days, 2-3 weeks within 30 days, that there have been, planning and discussions up to making the decision, talking about the options. And that's something that the APTA did a lot of work with their conference planning group, and the person that coordinates that at APTA and works closely with each of the specialty sections, the components, section program chairs, right? And ours is Erin Pazor, so she's going to be involved in that a fair bit too as we move forward. But they've been talking about what options we have looking forward, right, with the extension of the pandemic health emergency declaration for another 60 days, which will carry us through October. Moving most things virtual through the end of this year, the natural progression was, unfortunately, to look at our centennial year and look into 2021. And we hold that massive meeting, usually anywhere from 19, 20 plus strong therapists, therapist assistants, student therapists and student therapist assistants, exhibitors, guests, and we descend upon a city, and in reality, the options weren't looking good. And I think it was very insightful to start the planning and the exploratory phase and look at our options. And these were presented to section and academy chairs, presidents, a couple weeks ago. That's when this started, and decisions weren't made, and they wanted feedback and how we felt about it. And ultimately, I think the federated model of APTA with our specialty 18, 19 specialty sections, we were all in the same boat that it was important to do the right thing for the health and safety of the population and for our membership and non-membership alike, even our exhibitors, anybody that would participate, and to make sure that we were true to our brand and following the science, right? So shortly after that initial conversation and looking at our options, APTA came back and said, we think that the only viable option is to go virtual. And so now we've gotten that announcement. I think it's been just about a week ago, and the section's done it, and all the sections have announced. And we're starting those conversations now about what should that look like? How robust should these platforms and these virtual situations be? And many of us have been to several conferences virtually through the summer and coming up into the fall. And there's some really viable options. Now, everybody is in agreement. I can tell you, before I get into a couple details, that we don't think this is the new normal forever and ever, amen. We don't think that this is a way to get swept up in that wave or that tsunami, depending upon what crowd you're walking in, of throngs of therapists. It doesn't allow us to do all the other extraneous community-like activities. We are a big sponsor with Sean Hagee, our chair of public relations and social media for the section, the After Dark program. We have our business meeting. We have other events, right? uh, shoes for kids, things that we participate, trying to leave the area we descend upon, 20,000 strong clinicians and future clinicians, better than we left it, right? We've participated in community outreach things with PT in the community with Patrick Berner through Population Health and Wellness, and delivering Meals on Wheels, and delivering, not Meals on Wheels, excuse me, but food and supplies to the homeless when we were in Colorado this past February. So there's a lot of events that happen, and we're seeing this as, being able to continue our proud tradition, provide essential education for clinicians, students, and the like, promote research and science through our platforms and our posters, looking into, can we get virtual exhibits and will it be worthwhile, highlighting sections, and making this cost effective, not necessarily financially lucrative, but meeting the needs of the community, of the science community of physical therapy. And so I think we're all on the page that this is kind of a necessary evil for this upcoming February, and the decisions have to be made now to allow for planning and not to incur tremendous financial penalties for cancellation or revision or modification to existing plans. Because these plans, Troy, are made years in advance. I mean, we've progressed to the kind of conference where we can't have just one or two hotels to house everybody. We have to have ample meeting space and hotel space. And so it's really limited the venues that we can go to. And as much as being in Florida, I would absolutely love to have you all in my back door and spend a celebratory centennial night at Universal Studios during CSM. It's something that we're going to have to, like the Marine Corps, we're going to have to modify, adapt, and overcome, and we'll get back on track. But in the meantime, we all want to be part of an acceptable solution that still, speaks to the APTA brand, the federated model, and support and education, and moving, the needle and the profession forward during this time of the pandemic health emergency. So did you have any further questions, or I could spend a couple minutes talking about some specific things that have come up in some recent discussions that we've had since the decision has been made?
Oh, I think I do, appreciate the hard decision that had to be made by the leadership that was there. And, I think I can appreciate that, one of the options could have been that they canceled the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And that having a viable option. And I think it was great that you did, that you mentioned that, this isn't what the new normal is planned to be, that there's a lot of value in having it in person and going back to the way that we did. And, and as well as, things clear up, in the future and everything, and thinking about the safety of all of our members, that's where we want to kind of return to. So I didn't really, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And it really, APTA's driving goal is to protect the CSM attendees' experience. Sometimes it might be the first time that they attend. How are they going to get that sense of community? And ultimately, we're already transitioning to virtual platforms. We're doing that for our advanced certification in home health. We had courses scheduled, and we have a pre-con that we do. We're looking at transitioning that to virtual to keep the science, to keep the credentials, to keep the movement forward, as the leader in providing education, training, and resources for physical therapist assistants and physical therapists, to practice in the home health, that community-based setting. And so right now, all we really know is that we should have some more definitive timelines as we get into the fall months. We are looking to have, some modifications to how speakers do things. Will things be pre-recorded with live Q&A sessions or interaction sessions? How can we make this so we can still engage with speakers and posters and platform sessions, and still protect those presentations, and acknowledge the hard work of those people that participate, and not just kicking this off and making it happen. And there's a big shout out to Erin Pizzora, our program chair, for that. For the last several years, she's taken it to a new level. But also those people who share their science with us, and we learn from, and we go back and we can put that right back into practice. I think that that's going to be critical. But I think that there's a silver lining, Troy, in all this, and I think that silver lining is, a lot of times CSM, with or without a pre-con, a three solid day event. If you happen to come in the day before, you participate in the wonderful home health section meet and greet, on Wednesday night, where we can all get together and catch up with each other after sometimes not seeing each other for a full year. It's wonderful. Well, what about those people that can't afford that time away or can't afford the expense of it? We're hoping that we can make this such an attractive and financially feasible way to get CEs, but also to engage with the larger community, that we'll get more attendees and we'll be able to see more than we do when we're caught up in the wave of the conference courses that we can get to, right? Because there's so much being offered, we always feel like, gosh, if I could have gotten to one more. So the virtual platform, it's really being looked at as, if we're going to go to it, let's make it as attractive and as available to people. There's been courses I want to go to, even as a longstanding member, now president of the home health section. I want to go to that's being offered by Jerry, or being offered by pediatrics, or a clinical physiology and wound care. But that's all the way across the convention center, or in a hotel on the other side of the convention center, where I have meetings, right? Where I have conference. And I really said, do I really want to trek through there? I'll just have to miss it this time. And I always go home kind of wishing I coulda, shoulda, woulda, if I could transport myself place to place. Well, we have to think about it in those terms. We may have the opportunity, in reality, to attend a lot of varying conference, sessions that we wouldn't normally be afforded to if we were physically on site, or if we couldn't afford the time or the dime, the cost associated with it. So I want people to try to see this as a cup half full, right? We're looking at it as the best of the worst situation that we could possibly be in. And stay tuned, because we're going to have a lot more information coming down the path for everybody. So thanks for reaching out to me to get more information for our membership. And I hope to see you, as well as, the rest of the membership, participate in this centennial year, and all the events that we have planned for the profession of physical therapy, along with, our CSM 2021, which is going virtual.
Absolutely. And I think, just like last year, the PR committee, which I am part of, we're going to continue to make sure that we try to get that information out there, just like we did last year with the CSM.
Yeah, you guys do a great job with that. And I can't congratulate you enough. The way you promote and you highlight our sessions and our speakers and our expertise, I think is been instrumental, in getting people to participate and feel engaged in our community. So thanks so much to you and the rest of the committee, Monique Caruth and Sean, our fearless leader, Sean Hagee, and I think Sherry Teague is the new addition to that committee. So you guys are really rocking and rolling. Keep on it.
Thank you. Yeah. We all try to do the best we can, and it makes it really easy when it's such great information. It's easy to share. And hopefully we keep everybody informed. So I think, going forward, everybody who's listening can expect to hear more from us, as details are released. Just wanted to kind of get this out early, just to let everybody know, that everything's, being thought through. It's, that there's going to be more information to come. So just stay tuned, and hopefully, this year is going to be just as exciting as last year, just a little bit different.
Yep, that's it.
All right. Well, Dee, I really appreciate your time, and I appreciate your leadership with the section.
Thanks so much, Troy. You have a great day, and stay safe.
You too, Dee.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the Home Health Minute, the podcast from the Home Health section of the American Physical Therapy Association. Check out our website at www.homehealthsection.org. There you can find links to this episode, tons of helpful resources for your practice, and how to connect with us on social media. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.